All right, so apparently there was some very interesting stuff that was trending from the Pokemon Company. I mean, it's not really a surprise once you get into more details about it. Shout outs to Central Links. But before we get right into it, please like and subscribe. That is the best way to support me for free. I mostly do Pokemon stuff, Nintendo related topics as well, other Nintendo related games, and maybe one of the rare instances I might do videos of other games that I've enjoyed playing quite recently. So, Central Links. Did you know that the Pokemon Company can use any fan art or other derivative creative work you make without any compensation credit to you? And if they don't like it, they can always force you to take it down. So, let's go into more detail. And you can clearly see this in every single intellectual property ever made, not just from Pokemon, but the moment you see this C or a TR or a TM, trademark or trade rights reserved, I mean, that pretty much means that a company or somebody, an entity, possesses that intellectual property and they have the right to protect their copyright. Essentially, if you want to go more into detail what this says about the legal information, clearly sees here that, you know, talks about the fan arts creator, Pokemon to use, transmit, copy, modify. No further consideration or compensation of any kind will be given for any fan art. Of course, I kind of see the fan art is artist perspective because they're making very wonderful stuff, and yes, sometimes, and I think the problem with fan art is sometimes they look too much like Pokemon. They look too much like stuff that might be copyrighted. I mean, if you're making a brand new Pokemon from scratch, yeah, sure, you have the right to do that. But if you are, let's say, making a mega evolution of a current Pokemon that already exists, like for example, Flygon. Everybody wants a mega Flygon or a mega Arcanine. And if you are using that Pokemon as a basis, that's technically considered fan art. And if the Pokemon company says, hey, we're taking that and you're not making money off of it, they can do that because, again, it's their intellectual property. I think the fan art gets a little crazy when leak season happens and data mining happens and people just start somehow predicting the future correctly and are making or creating or drawing these Pokemon from scratch, and it turns out to be one of the Pokemon that are actually going to get introduced. So imagine, like, prior to Raging Bolt, being shown in the DLC trailer, someone magically happened to draw a Raging Bolt and it's like 100% spot on. Yeah, that's still considered fan art, and you cannot make any compensation out of it because they already have copyrighted it and trademarked that Pokemon for quite a while. If you guys don't understand like how long DLC and Pokemon games have development time, they're already in the bag, bro. They already been there for years now, so it doesn't come as a surprise. And yeah, so me personally, I'm not a fan of fan art per se because one, I don't really care about it. I know a lot of people do. People have channels, people have media, social media they want to promote, and oftentimes if it's a PokeTuber, they will use, certain images of Pokemon being used, and that's completely fine. I think YouTube in particular are pretty chill about it as long as that isn't being abused online. Like I've used certain Pokemon for my thumbnails. And hell, I even have my banner, my channel banner with a Dragapult and Derpy. Like, they have never told me anything because it's still considered fan art, but I don't own compensation to it. I didn't pay for it. I mean, I did pay for the service of having that, but I'm not gonna claim it as mine because obviously that's not the case there. So, and I noticed like a lot of people are kind of like confused about this topic because at the end of the day, literally every single Nintendo IP, every single company that has a trademark or copyright or rights to reserve to protect their intellectual property, like it exists for a reason. Because if people want to blatantly rip off Pokemon, they can do it. But then ultimately, it comes down to the companies you see here: Pokemon, Nintendo, Creatures, Game Freak, Pokemon. Like they have the right to take all that shit down without any remorse because again they're trying to protect their intellectual property because if they don't do that then everybody would take advantage of, these companies. And we've seen that in real life too. We've seen, sneakers, especially like Nike, Adidas, Converse. We've seen ripoffs of other shoes that are not Nikes. And sure, you can argue, well, they're just using the base model of the shoe. Yeah, but that Air Force One, that looks a lot like these Bapestas that were made right here, and they're more expensive, and they're ripping it off. Of course, that's a whole nother story in regards to blatantly ripping off certain companies. But yeah, I'm here to tell you, I'm not surprised. I mean, if it was let's say for example, if you are Pokemon and people are clearly ripping off your stuff and they're trying to make money off of it, yeah, dude, of course you'd be pissed. You're trying to protect your products, but I don't think it's really newsworthy. Just like, here's information. Uh, just if you want to be a fan artist, go right ahead. I'm not telling you not to do it, but if you're trying to get commission off of it, just be very careful because Pokemon, Nintendo are watching from all corners of the earth, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, 4chan, Reddit. Just be careful. Anyways, guys, it's your boy Franklin signing out. Peace. Don't forget to check out these videos you see on the screen here. All right, have a blessed day.